this video, I'm going to look at stretches that you may find useful if you have IT band syndrome. We're first going to look at why it's not that useful to try to really stretch the IT band and why it can't really be stretched, why it's better to aim for the muscles that attaches onto the IT band, which ones they are, and then of course I'll demonstrate some stretches that you may find useful. And I'll also show you how to adapt those stretches if you find that your IT band is still very sensitive, because sometimes the stretches can actually flare it up and it's quite easy to adapt them. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Maryke. I'm one of the physiotherapists from sportsinjuryphysio.com, where you can get online physiotherapy assessment as well as treatment for your injuries. Have a look at the description of this video if you want a link to our website. So why do we say you can't stretch the IT band? The IT band is made up of thick layers of fascia. Now, fascia is the white stuff, that sinewy stuff you get in meat that you can't really chew. It's made up mainly out of collagen fibers, which are really tough. And to be honest, we don't want the IT band to stretch, because the job that it does in the body is it acts a little bit like a safety belt. When you run and walk, if you can imagine this is your pelvis, this is your leg. When you give a step, your muscles that attaches onto the IT band contracts and pulls it tight, and it stops your pelvis from dropping too much while you're walking. So if you now try to really make it flexible, then you'll just end up with dropping the pelvis more than what it should. So, but don't worry about it, because even if you really try to stretch, you can't stretch the IT band to the point where that's going to become too flexible. You'll injure the muscles if you overstretch. And I know it can feel as if your IT band feels really tight and sore and stiff along that line when it's irritated, but it's actually because the muscles that attaches onto it becomes tight and irritated, and then that pulls the IT band tight, and that's how it all happens. So what muscles are the culprits? You've got your glutes, both your glute med, your glute max. Then you have your lateral quad, so the side of the front thigh muscle that attaches into it. And you also have your TFL, which is a smaller muscle on the side of the hip. I'll show you in a minute when I'm standing upright. Those are the main ones that affects how tight your IT band feels. And I'll demonstrate how to stretch them in the next clip. I'm going to show you a few different versions of quad stretches that you can do. So remember, it's the lateral portion of the quad, or the outer portion of the quad, that attaches onto the IT band and can also make it feel tight. Now, the typical quad stretch is where you grab onto a leg and just pull it back. But now the problem with this one is that sometimes, if your IT band is really sensitive, it doesn't like that position where your knee is that flexed. So then that quad stretch can actually make it feel worse. So something that you may find useful is if instead, you're on the floor and you're just doing a general hip flexor stretch first, where you're leaning forwards. So you can see that the knee is pretty much staying still, and I'm getting more, this one gets more your rectus femoris, which is the middle quad muscle. But if you really tighten this bit, you can feel it stretch there, and you can even bend to the side to increase that stretch there. Then later on, as it calms down, then you can actually catch your foot as well and increase that stretch even further. So those are a few options. The standing quad stretch can work perfectly if your knee allows it. But what I want to show there is, if you're doing a standing quad stretch, this is not really stretching my quads, because I'm taking all the strain off it because I'm taking my knee forwards. So you've got to bring the knee back, that it's at least in line with the other knee, and not compensate by pushing your pelvis forwards. You've got to keep the pelvis back and bring the knee back as far as you can. And then you can see I'm quite tight when I'm there, whereas there I can touch my bottom. So that's just something that can help. Also, if you look at it from the front, if you're going to have your leg out there, you're not really stretching the side of it. If you bring it in, then you're going to feel it a little bit more on the side there. But my preferred one, if it tolerates it, is the one on the floor eventually. A stretch that the research has shown can be quite useful to help alleviate the pain from IT band syndrome is what they call an IT band stretch. Now, I know I just said you can't stretch the IT band, but it's just the name of the exercise. I'll explain to you what you're actually stretching while you're doing it. So to show you the full stretch, what it looks like is you cross your leg to be stretched, goes at the back, and it crosses over, and you can cross the other one at the front as far as it feels comfortable. Then you want to push your hip to the side so that you start feeling a stretch over here. And then if you want to increase the stretch, if it doesn't feel that stretchy, you can also bring this up so that you're stretching the whole side of all the muscles, the lateral side of your body, because all the muscles pretty much attaches onto each other via fascia layers. So tightness in one area can cause tightness in another area. So what are we stretching with this position? We're stretching a little bit of the glutes, but we're also stretching the TFL, the tensor fascia latae, which attaches onto it. So it's a really nice one to get that side going. And you may find, if your IT band is really super sensitive still, leaning into the full stretch can actually irritate it because it can push it harder against the bone there. So what do? You can start with your legs just straight like this and see if you just push your hip to the side, can you get a bit of a stretch there? But you don't want to feel pain down there. Then, if that feels okay and you find that, okay, no, that doesn't feel too tight anymore, you can add that in. And then later on, as you feel it's more comfortable, you can start doing where you actually cross the legs over and do that full movement. My favorite stretch for the glutes is a figure 4 stretch, but sometimes if your IT band is still very sensitive, it can irritate it when you bend the knee and twist it so much. So let me first demonstrate the figure 4 stretch, and then after that I'll show you how you can adapt it. So what you want to do is you want to cross one leg over the other, put your one hand through the gap, other hand comes around the outside, pull your knee to your chest. Show you from the other side. So I'm going to stretch my right leg now. Make sure your foot is all the way past, because if you pick it up like that, that's going to hurt your ankle. So have it there and then bring it up and there. Now, if you find that that hurts your knee, then what you can do is instead just place your hands on it and have the knee as straight as you need to have it comfortable, and then bring that across and up rather than bringing it with your leg. Another way to stretch the glutes is to just one leg straight, other leg crosses over, and you can just pull it across like that. So just anything that you do that you can feel it stretching in there will work. So adjust your position, because it will very much be position dependent what irritates your knee. Excellent, hope you found that useful. Now, I've also made a video about causes for IT band syndrome, as well as strength training exercises for IT band syndrome that you may find useful. And remember, if you need more help with an injury, you're welcome to consult one of the team via video call. The link to the website is in the description of this video. Take care.